In the sun-drenched hills of Tuscany, a quiet revolution was unearthed. Not in ancient ruins or buried cities, but within the decaying walls of a renovated farmhouse. An old wooden chest, forgotten for centuries, yielded its secrets. Inside, amidst fragments of linen and dust, lay a bound volume. Its surface, softened by time and moisture, whispered of a forgotten past. A discovery that would challenge our understanding of an entire epoch. What stories could such an artifact hold? Who was its author? And what hidden knowledge, dormant for 800 years, was about to be awakened? The year was 2018. The find, a personal journal from the 13th century. Water damaged, its leather binding cracked and brittle, the pages within were of delicate vellum. Each sheet, a testament to enduring craftsmanship, now perilously fragile. But it was the ink, faded yet persistent, that truly captivated. Hand-drawn illustrations of plants, meticulously detailed, hinted at a world of ancient botanical wisdom. This was no ordinary book. It was a portal, opened by chance, into a distant mind and a forgotten era. But what would it reveal? Central Italy, the 13th century. A time of burgeoning city-states, fervent religious belief, and the ever-present shadow of disease. Life was often brutal, short, and deeply connected to the land. Formal medicine, as we understand it, was rudimentary, often tied to monasteries or burgeoning universities in urban centers. For most, especially in rural areas, healing lay in folk traditions, ancestral knowledge, and the silent, powerful wisdom of nature. Into this demanding world, our herbalist emerged. A voice from the margins, now echoing across time. The diary's author, a woman. Her name, lost to history, adds another layer to the enigma. In a society where women's roles were largely confined, and intellectual pursuits often discouraged outside of religious orders, her existence as an herbalist and a keeper of knowledge is remarkable. She was not a nun, nor a noblewoman with access to formal education. She was a practitioner, a keen observer, and a silent scholar of the natural world. Her perspective, filtered through the lens of her gender and her unique craft, offers a rare counter-narrative to traditional historical records. The task of translation proved formidable. The diary was written in a challenging blend of Old Tuscan dialect and scholarly Latin. Words, phrases, and even entire passages felt deliberately opaque, almost encoded. The nuances of ancient grammar, the shifting meanings of words over centuries, presented a linguistic labyrinth. Each deciphered line was a small victory, a tiny key unlocking a larger mystery. What secrets required such careful concealment? Was it protection for herself, or for the potent knowledge she committed to vellum? The translation was just the beginning. At its heart, the diary is a treasure trove of herbal remedies. Detailed descriptions of indigenous plants, their growing seasons, and methods of preparation fill its pages. Remedies for common ailments, fevers, coughs, digestive woes. The herbalist's meticulous observations speak of a deep connection to the earth, a practical understanding of its bounty. But amidst the familiar, there are whispers of the unusual. Recipes for concoctions that defy simple categorization, hinting at practices far removed from standard medieval medical texts. What exactly was she brewing? Some of the entries are unsettling. Ingredients and processes that raise modern eyebrows. Potent, even poisonous, plants appear in surprising combinations. Are these desperate measures born of limited alternatives, or do they represent a different understanding of healing, one that blurs the lines between medicine and magic? The diary doesn't judge, it simply records. It forces us to confront the boundaries of pre-modern medical ethics and the wisdom, or indeed the peril, embedded in forgotten traditions. The implications are profound, and sometimes, disquieting. Beyond the earth, the herbalist looked to the heavens. References to lunar cycles and planetary alignments are interwoven with her botanical notes. For her, the cosmos was not separate from the terrestrial, it was an active participant in the rhythms of healing and growth. This celestial perspective, a hallmark of pre-modern thought, suggests a holistic view of well-being where human, plant, and planet were intrinsically linked. Was she simply observing, or actively harnessing these cosmic energies in her work? The diary hints at a subtle, almost mystical, practice. Even more intriguing are the subtle allusions to alchemy. Not the pursuit of gold from lead, but a more philosophical, transformative alchemy. Symbols, cryptic phrases, and references to processes of distillation and purification suggest an engagement with the esoteric. Was she exploring the transformation of substances, or perhaps the transformation of the self? This layered understanding points to a mind that saw connections where others saw only discrete elements, a seeker of deeper truths beyond the visible world. What gold was she truly seeking? Interspersed with practical remedies and celestial observations are profound philosophical musings. Observations on nature's resilience, the fleetingness of human life, and the enduring power of faith. She reflects on women's roles, often with a quiet defiance, hinting at the constraints and opportunities of her time. These personal notes reveal a thoughtful, introspective individual, wrestling with the great questions of existence. The diary isn't just a record of medicine, it's a testament to an active, questioning mind, surprisingly modern in its contemplation. Glimpses of daily life puncture the intellectual depth. The challenges of a rural existence, harsh winters, poor harvests, the constant threat of illness. But also, triumphs. A successful cure, a child's recovery, the blossoming of a rare plant. These entries ground her extraordinary knowledge in the relatable realities of human experience. They humanize her, allowing us to connect with her struggles and joys across 8 centuries. She wasn't just a healer, she was a woman navigating a difficult world, finding meaning in her craft. Then, a recurring phrase. A tantalizing, elusive reference to a great remedy. It appears in fragmented notes, encoded within other entries, mentioned with an air of profound secrecy. Not just another herbal concoction, but something of immense significance. The context suggests it's linked to a pervasive illness, a widespread affliction that haunted the medieval landscape. Why such secrecy? Was it dangerous to know, or dangerous to possess? This particular thread quickly became the central enigma of the entire diary. What was this great remedy? The diary hints at a pervasive illness, a silent dread that stalked the communities. While not explicitly named, the descriptions evoke images of widespread suffering. It wasn't merely individual sickness, but a collective burden that shaped daily life and religious belief. The herbalist's intense focus on this great remedy suggests a deep personal and communal concern, a relentless search for an answer in a world often devoid of hope. This illness, unwritten but vividly felt, fueled her quest, driving her to transcend conventional wisdom. What plague could inspire such a monumental undertaking? The great remedy itself remains frustratingly vague, often obscured by symbols, metaphorical language, and cross-references to other, equally obscure passages. It's a deliberate act of concealment, designed to protect the knowledge or the knowledge holder. Was it too potent, too heretical, or simply too valuable to be openly recorded? Deciphering these layers of meaning became a monumental intellectual challenge. Each symbol, each fragment of verse, offered a potential key, yet withheld the full truth. The puzzle was intricate, profound, and deeply personal. To preserve this fragile relic, university specialists were called upon. Conservationists meticulously worked to stabilize the vellum, preventing further decay. Digital imaging techniques captured every detail, every brushstroke, every faded word, ensuring its survival for future study. This modern intervention created an accessible record, allowing researchers worldwide to delve into its mysteries without risking damage to the original. The diary, once lost in a chest, was now safeguarded by 21st-century technology, poised to share its secrets with a global audience. But the biggest secret still lay hidden. The translation project is still ongoing, a painstaking labor of love and scholarship. Teams of linguists, historians, and botanists collaborate, each bringing their unique expertise to bear on the ancient text. New discoveries emerge constantly. A previously overlooked symbol, a subtle change in script, a forgotten dialectal term, each piece contributes to the ever-growing mosaic of understanding. The diary is not a static artifact, it is a living document, slowly revealing its narrative, layer by painstaking layer. The full picture is yet to form, but its outlines grow clearer with each passing month. The diary forces a powerful reassessment of medieval intellectual life. It challenges assumptions about the limited scope of knowledge and the suppression of individual thought in the 13th century. Here was a woman, unheralded, unrecorded by mainstream history, demonstrating a profound intellect, a scientific curiosity, and a spiritual depth that transcends her era. Her work suggests a richer, more diverse landscape of knowledge than previously understood, one where folk wisdom, nascent science, and philosophical inquiry coexisted. The past, it seems, is far more complex than we imagine. Through her diary, the herbalist speaks to us across the centuries. Her observations, her struggles, her wisdom resonate with surprising clarity. She is no longer an anonymous figure but a distinct individual, a voice demanding to be heard. Her legacy is not just the remedies she meticulously recorded, but the very act of recording itself, a defiance against obscurity, a testament to the enduring human need to understand, to heal, and to leave a mark. What she left behind is more than ink on vellum, it is a profound connection. Finally, the layers of encoding peeled back. The great remedy for the pervasive illness was not a single herb, not a miraculous elixir, but a profound philosophy. It described a holistic approach to well-being, the deep interconnectedness of human health with the vitality of the natural world, and the strength found in community and compassionate care. The pervasive illness she sought to cure was not just physical ailment, but the despair, the fear, and the isolation that plagued medieval life. Her ultimate prescription was a way of living, in harmony with nature, supported by kinship, and sustained by an unshakable spirit. A timeless wisdom, finally understood.